Hello, welcome back. I'm Shy.
I'm Kyle.
And this is Animated Chaos.
Yeah.
So this episode, we're probably going to be basically talking about animes that we've been watching so far.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't been watching a lot.
Me neither. Unfortunately, that's the problem.
But when I do start watching them, I binge. So that's why that's why I like shows that are completed, because then I can binge watch them. And then I can decide by episode 2 if I like it enough to continue. And so this is basically my list of the ones that I have been watching. Some of them that I went back to finish because they did have a second season a while ago. And I just now, like I said, I haven't been watching anime very often, or at least going back and watching ones I previously watched to catch up that they did have second seasons on. So 2 of them I've completed the second season for finally, even though I think they released last year. But I finally caught up with and finished it. One of them was released, it finished last month. So I didn't know. I thought it was an older one, and it wasn't. It just finished last month. And honestly, I cannot wait till next season because I need another season. Because that type of energy is what I love. That type of energy, I'm on that time. He was on demon time all the time. It's wonderful. Like, I'm telling you, like that character, I'm just like, so that one is basically, it's called The Most Notorious Talker Runs the World's Greatest Clan. So that one.
The long titles.
These long titles. You know what? We should do one with just cutting down long titles. That might be another episode somewhere.
I could give you just a laundry list of titles that you can cut out half of the sentence or more.
We can do that.
And get the exact same thing.
Let's do that. Let's make a note of that. So that one, yes, is a long ass title. It's a long title, but
you don't need to describe the entire thing in a sentence on your title.
Sometimes.
Ever.
Sometimes just the English translation is longer than what the original language was.
Is that what they're calling it?
That's what I'm calling it.
Okay. So what you're doing is you're going to give them just a crutch.
Yeah, a crutch that they can, fall on backwards.
Mm-hmm.
But
ooh.
Mm-hmm. But no, seriously, this one.
Question real quick.
Yes.
Has this crutch been filed down into a point?
Could be, depending on what the anime is. Okay, so this one's basically, honestly, they could have just put it down to The Most Notorious Talker and left it at that. Jesus. See? Talking shit, get hit. That was me. Y'all didn't see it, but I was talking shit earlier. You're not going to see that part, but I was going to talk shit earlier. Talk shit, get hit. Karma came back and got me real fast. But this one is actually really, really good. I liked it purely because, it's one of those you would think, oh, you're the weakest character. He's the weakest character. And woe is me. Ha ha. No, it's not. He's like, okay, you classified me as a weak character. And to the world, that may seem like I'm the weak character, but I'm going to prove it to you. Then if I'm the weakest character, I'm going to get the strongest, baddest people. And I'm going to be the leader of them. And by proxy, I'm the strongest person here in our entire kingdom. So I liked his energy from the get-go. Because at first you see him as he's crying and just weeping, whatever. But again, he was 14 in the beginning of it. So you kind of have to give him some grace there. And he just lost, his grandpa. Spoiler alert. So you have to.
I mean, if you just lost a family member, of course you're going to be crying, unless you're just a heartless bastard.
Well, his grandfather was one of the strongest. They called seekers, which is most, and if you look at adventure type anime, is more like a guild, the adventurers, like the warriors, like that.
Okay.
So they're called seekers, right? They're the ones that go. I'm not gonna go too much because I really want. If you want to go see it, go watch it. But he was one of the strongest of the strongest, right? He defeated one of the most powerful other beings that came in. Like these monsters would come into their world just randomly, and he defeated one of the most powerful ones, right? I think a level 14, I believe, is what the most. They get more and more powerful as it goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Like a variant is what they call them, and he defeated one, and so. By him dying, he trained him. He was like, it's okay you're not a seeker, which are the strongest ones of all the people that's in the parties. Mm-hmm. He's like, you're a talker, which is the weakest one. They're classified as the weaker ones of any, classification, because there's all different type of classifications. They all have different classifications, and you get that classification when you're young. So when you're still a kid, you find out whether you are a talker, a seeker,
Mm-hmm.
And then you can either do something with it, actually go into the city, become part of a guild and create your own party, stuff like that, and get, the fame, the glory. Or you could just do nothing with it and be like, I'm just going to stay home and do nothing. Yeah, that's what I was classified with as a kid, but I don't really got to do it. You're not forced to do anything with it. Okay. You can if you want to, type thing.
So it's a here's your potential for this type of job,
Yeah.
but you're not restricted to just doing this because of your classification as such.
Yeah, that's literally, it's like, as kids, majority of them gets classified of what they wanting to what they can be, like their potential, like you said. And then you have the ones that just be like, I don't know if I really should do that. I don't know if yes, it says I can do this, but do I really have the know-how to really just go out there and take it and to achieve those things? He, coming back as a talker, was crying because he was like, I wanted to be a seeker. I wanted to be a powerful, adventurer like you. And the grandpa's like, you still can. He said, I'm still going to train you. He said, if that's what you really want to be, tell me, look me in the eyes. That's what you want to be. He goes, I want to be the strongest seeker, like known, like better than you. And then his grandpa was like, all right, bet. And so from there, he trained him. And he constantly kept training because you're a talker, so you're classified as the weakest one. However, let me show you a way to defend yourself. And he's classified as the weakest is because he doesn't have any like defensive abilities. He's not that strong. Air quotes on not that strong.
Right.
Like physically not that strong.
Right.
It's classified as a weak skill, but at the same time, that's a dangerous skill.
It's a support skill.
Yeah, it's a support, but a lot of people see that as a talker support skill as really weak and minute. Like, oh, you can't do anything because you're just a talker.
I'm assuming it's limited only by your imagination, though.
Well, there are some restrictions. Like there's one skill that he can't technically use, which is like mind control, because he can say confess. And it'll force you to like confess stuff. It's technically against the laws unless it's against a criminal. Like they can use it like a court of law. Or like how he used in the very first episode was, no, you basically stole from our party. So therefore you stole. So therefore I can use this because that's breaking the law. You stole from us. And so therefore I'm not the one going to jail. You are. So there's some of his skills that he be using. Now, granted, does he keep using those skills for that purpose? No, but who's going to tell? Nobody. So I really enjoyed that one. And he did slowly start building up, people in his guild, but there's a lot more that needs to be said. There's a lot more that needs to be done in the show. But the premise of basically is like, I know what I want. I said I wanted to start our own clan. We're a party right now, but we need to start our own clan. That means when we go out and we take jobs, all that money's coming to us. We don't have to take a portion of it here and pay this person out. Everything comes to us.
To the guild.
Like all the money comes to us. And his 2 party members that you have with him, they go, sweet, like, yay, finally, like we can actually, get the stuff on our own. And the very first person, because he puts like a flyer out to get recruit new people. And the very first person he gets, she's from an assassination guild. And her grandpa, which turned out to, we'll watch it and find out what it turned out to be. But her grandpa essentially battled his grandpa and lost.
Okay.
And
so we have an internal rivalry going on.
Yeah, but he told her, he goes, well, my grandpa died years ago. And she goes, she was basically like, so sorry, you can't avenge, I guess, your grandpa with mine because he's gone. She goes, well, mine died a month ago, so it was in the past. I'm just telling you that they did have a history with each other. Cool.
So it's just literally, hey, just so you know this happened, but also I'm not going to carry this on for generation to generation to generation to generation.
Yeah, like he was just like, well, my grandpa died, so I don't know what to tell you. And then she goes, well, mine died a month ago, so I'm just letting you know. She's like, the past, the past. What you got though? Like, what do you, And so he goes, well, what's your skill? And she goes, and she tells him, because you can upgrade your class. Because right now they're ranked C, but you have to achieve a certain.
I guess you go from like D to A.
I think they have S class too.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. There's always S class. Why didn't I think of that? Right.
But those are like the top of the top of the top of the top. And he's like, we're going to go to the top, to the top. Like, he's like, that's where I want to go. Yeah. And so right now they're at C rank. And so they have to, I guess, do a couple. It's hard for me to explain. It's like, you have to get more experience in order to be able to increase your rank. She's already ready to increase her rank to a B. He's still a C. And so once they start working up to more, he gets his symbol, and the symbol can appear any parts of your body.
Okay.
So her symbol is a dagger, and it's on her chest because, again, she was assassin.
Right.
She's from an assassination guild. So her thing, and you can choose too which skill you want to learn next.
Okay.
So she's an assassin, but she can do assassin, or she can do this or this or this, and she gets to pick which class does she want to advance further in. Yeah. And so,
do they have the ability to like backtrack later on, pick up other ones, or once you pick it, you're in it and you can't change it?
I'm not sure. Because again, the season, how it made it seem like you can always buy books though to refurther your class. So even if she didn't pick that one, she can always get a book
Okay.
and learn that skill through
Gonna
that.
say because that's how most
takes a
video
lot of
games like
money.
to do things. So.
Yeah, but it takes a lot of money for them to buy certain
Of
books.
course.
So one of the books he wanted was basically, but I really enjoyed that one. I think you would like. I really do because
I mean, it sounds like something I'd enjoy.
he's very much like, you get in my way, I will destroy you. His motto was, he will do unto his friend and foe 1,000 times over. So if you're a friend, whatever you done to him, and you're a friend, you will get good stuff back in return from him. If you his foe, he's gonna make you just
suffer
badly.
1,000 times over.
1,000 times over. 1,000 times over. And there's one character I think you're really gonna like.
Okay.
He's a mafia dude, but I think you're gonna like him. His skill is pretty cool too.
There's some funny mafia characters out there.
Like his skill is really cool. Like he literally took his heart, and the character was like, I don't feel a heartbeat, and he goes, like it was in his hand. It was literally in his hand. He goes,
the Hunter x Hunter moment right there.
Huh?
Hunter x Hunter moment right there.
Yeah, it was literally like a Hunter x Hunter moment, but except less bloody. Because he's like just like teleported almost his like heart out of his body. Like it was still beating, it was still connected to his body.
You know what?
But he's like, all I have to do is just crush it and you're dead.
Yeah, so that's more than like the One Piece character Trafalgar Law who got the heart. Oh
yeah, when he does like
the clown guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that, sort of, yeah.
Because he literally encased it in like a square bubbly thing.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I can crush this at any point in time. So you're literally, your life is in my hands at this point.
And they have like a love-hate relationship with each other in the show, because you can kind of see it, because he's kind of just like, you're dangerous, like join my family, like join the mafia family. He goes, no one will rule me. No one will be the boss of me. I'll be my own boss. If I'm going to be the king, I am my own king. If I'm going to be a god, I'm my own god. Like, and so the mafia guy's just like, I love and hate you. Like, I respect you so good, but just at the same time, it's like, I know you're going to be a danger to me later on.
Right.
Like,
so either getting good now or prepare to suffer later.
Like right now, they have a beneficial relationship with each other. Like first season, 2 of his guildmates stole from him and tried to run. He goes, bet, we're going to get that back. And he sold them to him.
Oh. Yeah.
And so it was rumored to the other parties that he sold his last guildmates, and he's like, I'm not confirming nor denying, but at the same time, it's like, you do me dirty. What do you expect me to do? Just because I'm a talker don't mean I'm weak.
Right.
Like, I will kick your ass. I was taught by the best.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So yes, it was really good. I think you'll like it. At least I know I did. I'm very much stand on business with those type of characters.
Those are fun characters.
Yeah,
maybe not in real life, but in anime, absolutely.
Yeah, and my things, I like the fact that no one's trying to tell them to stop doing it. They're
already scared.
No, they're on board with this. Like, bet.
Okay. Okay.
This is what we're doing. Okay.
Cool.
That's your goal. Okay.
What else you got?
Yeah. My next one would be Forbidden Deduction.
And we're gonna let her do, because I've got one.
Yeah.
I have one.
Yeah. I'm going to go through these a little short and sweet, because this one is kind of just one that I've already been watching. I just kind of caught up on the second season. Forbidden Deduction is basically think of it as a Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty mix.
Ooh.
Like they're descendants. Forbidden Deduction.
Yeah, you recommended that. I need to. I really should watch that.
It's literally just like a Moriarty and Sherlock Holmes.
I love that genre of stuff. Woo!
It's literally the detective show. Like his deductions are so good. Like he'll see a dead body, he'll lay next to it, and everyone's like, "What is he doing?" They're like, "Just let him. You just gotta
let him do his thing. Just let him do his thing."
And he's sitting there, he's looking at it, and he's like, "So what happened to you?" And so his most things are like, "Let the body tell me."
He's just talking to the dead body.
Yeah, like let the body tell me its story. Now, granted, he's not supposed to be doing that. That's why it's called forbidden. He's not supposed to be doing that, because the school that he graduated from, he caused an incident to happen.
Of course he did.
And they said, if we ever find you sleuthing again, we will kill you. And so he's just like, my life is over, because I can't ever sleuth again. But also, that incident that happened, I know I didn't physically do it. Like something else caused me to do that. Because he does have an issue. If anyone commits a crime and they confesses, he basically goes into like a hypnotic state and then tells them to go kill themselves.
Right. I remember you telling me about that.
So there's that. So they're trying to solve that mystery. And so the second season, you kind of get a bit more backstory into what happened. And the forbidden is not just the fact that he's secretly being a detective and helping his friend. You get who is the friend for Sherlock Holmes?
Dr. Watson.
It's very given Watson and Holmes. And they kind of make a reference to that in second season. It's like, you remind us of that annoying little assistant that he had. And I'm just like, they're making a reference to the original Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson.
I love a good Sherlock Holmes type story. I've got an entire book of Sherlock Holmes over there in my little
Yeah, so
table.
it gives you that. Only this time it's kind of reversed. Watson has to carry everything because Holmes can't. He's not supposed to be technically sleuthing at all due to the rules of the very secretive but yet famous detective school. But yeah, it's basically dealing with the descendants from Sherlock
What
Holmes.
better secret to keep than one where everybody knows about it?
Yeah, he's making his friend, which he calls him Toto. He's making him be what he would have been if he'd have been able to still be one of the best detectives in the world. He told me, I think in like the second episode, he was like, I'm going to make you basically one of the best detectives in this entire world.
So he's working in the background.
Yes.
And having his assistant friend do all the
who's an actual detective
facing work.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, that's literally because he's an actual detective.
Got it.
And so the crazy thing is he got drawn there because an older detective said, you should go to this address. And he goes, who's here? He said, just go there. He said, just trust me. He'll be able to help you. And he goes there and he's like, are you alive? Yes. Is that cat alive? The cat's alive. Are you sure he's alive? He's alive. He's like, are you sure? Because he's a recluse at that point.
Yeah.
And so, literally he's having him solve the mysteries. And so he'd be like, this guy did this, and this. Detective Toto said that. And he goes, oh, yes, I said that. And he goes, he said it. I didn't say it. I'm not doing anything. I don't know what you're talking
about.
Yeah.
I'm reporting the information that he said.
That's literally what he'd be doing. And then he's sitting there going,
I'm simply relaying the information. It was not me. I'm assisting, but I am not doing.
But he does it in a way, because sometimes they do have like hey, come over here. And he'll tell him like what to say. But before that happens, he'll just blurt out the answer. Mm-hmm. And then his friend will look at him. He goes, oh, so he's already figured it out. He goes, that's what the detective told me. He goes, yeah. Like, fill me in. Like, come back here and fill me in on the rest of it.
This sounds like good comedy energy. I like it.
It does. He has a really bad obsession with black syrup maple.
I'm going to have to watch this.
It's really good. It's really good. I think I like it to give you the mystery, the seriousness of it, but also playfulness too. It's a lot of just what you're in the mood for.
I'm comfortable with it and what I'm in the mood for. And if I'm in the mood for something with an older art style, I'm going to search for something with an older art style, and that generally is going to be something from the 90s and back.
Well, then look at the Woodpecker Detective Office. That's something of an older art style I think that you like.
There we go.
Yeah, so that one's also a good one. It's just I'm dealing with the issue of when this character might die, because it literally tells you in the beginning that he died.
Yeah.
So, but I think that one, look at that one then, because it's still detective-y.
Okay.
It still has a mystery, like supernatural mixed in there with a little bit, but I think it has an older art style that you might enjoy, since that's your main thing that you said that you like.
Forbidden Deduction. Okay.
That's the one that the Sherlock Holmes one.
Yeah.
But the Woodpecker one, I think for the art style, I think you'd like that one.
I just need to remind myself is all, because I'm not good at remembering anything.
We'll look it up later.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
The last one for me, and I'm going to try to keep this one short.
Yeah,
The Do-Over Damsel Conquers the Dragon Emperor. Again, long-ass title.
Long titles. But
this one is more of it's do-over, but it's more of a going back in time and not going to a different world. So it's not an isekai, but it can be considered one, I guess, because she's just going back in time.
Okay, the one you told me about.
Yeah, yep. She's just going back in time to when she's younger. So she only went back, I think, 5 years?
I think you said something like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, she was 16 when she kicked the bucket and woke up 10. Age 10 years old, right? Kick the bucket is a nice way of saying it, but she was unalived. She basically gets killed by her fiance, as one does in all of these shows.
Of course.
They always got to get betrayed. However, this one has a twist. Ooh, now, honestly, please. I need a second season for this show, but you have to come into this, you got to come into this with the mind of, this is an anime.
Be open-minded is what you're saying.
Don't think too hard into it. Think of the time era that this is being done.
True. You have to acknowledge time eras for stuff. You do. You really do. If it's going to be a timepiece, you have to acknowledge time era. You cannot apply modern sensibilities to time era stuff. It just doesn't work. You can't do it. It will not work.
And
you're going to be disappointed every time.
I did that a couple times. I was just like, wait, what? I'm like, time era. Remember the time era.
Time era.
Because I was like, what the hell am I watching? I was like, time era. Remember the time era.
Yeah.
I was like, this is actually appropriate in this time era. Because again, she's 10, marries a 19-year-old. And he was looking for under the age of 14-year-olds. They tell you why.
But for a reason.
There's a reason. There is a reason.
But for a reason, apparently.
There's a good reason why. But at the beginning, you're just like, even the character, she goes, you're looking for under 14-year-olds to... Dude, you're 19. But again, she has the mind of her 16-year-old self in the body of a 10-year-old. And remember, in her previous life, they were enemies, right? And so she basically learns why stuff happened in her first life happened the way it did. And she basically prevented it this time because she goes, oh, this is why this person did this. This is why this person did this. But if I do this, we can kind of avoid that. And it literally goes back to just like gods, like the gods of their world. And the one goddess is a problem. Like, she's horrible. She's a horrible. If I can't have him, no one can have him. He's mine. Okay. He's the love of my life. And they're just like,
oh, good. Tsundere energy. We love it.
Yeah, but it's
obsessive tsundere energy.
It's horrible. It is absolutely horrible. And he's just like, I'll basically become a slave to her. So therefore, I don't want nothing to do with her because she's literally just like, mine. And I'm like, so you're basically is the one. You kind of find out that you see her as in her previous life that she was like the good person. But now that she's seeing it from the other side, she goes, no, you a problem. Like, you are a problem. And since, she's a 10-year-old that just married this 19-year-old, she's now a problem to the goddess because now the goddess is trying to get her out of the equation too. And she's like, I dare you. This 10-year-old, but it's mine of 16-year-old. You got to remember, she's like, I dare you to come at me. I'm going to walk the floor with you, right? Because even though she's 10, she still has the powers and the abilities of and the experience of when she was 16. And so she kind of sees that from his perspective. So if you can get over the fact that she's a 19-year-old married to a 10-year-old, they don't do nothing.
She literally, you told me that she literally set that boundary. It's like, we're not doing anything until I'm of age. End of story. And he's like, I'm good with that.
Yeah. And so she did make the boundary. She's like, we can get married on paper. It'll say we're married on paper. However, we're going to do this like the courtship way. We're going to take our time to do this, but we're not doing anything else until I'm of age. Because he doesn't know that she's gone back in time. She doesn't know any of that. And so she does make a point of saying like, nah, we ain't doing nothing until I'm of age to do so. And his response was, that's fine. My mom married my dad. She was 19. He was 44.
Oh, jeez.
So again,
I forgot you told me about that.
It's fun. It's a fun anime. Honestly, I do need another season because I need that goddess to go. I need her to go, and I need that twisted, nasty king to go too. Because there's some sister complex in there that's taking it a little too far. It's further than you watch.
I have problems with the sibling complex thing.
But this is worse. This is worse than normal because normally we have our
but not on tier with that one anime I told you about where the guy actually married his sister, right?
Oh no! That's the tier we're on. That's the tier we're on. That's the tier we're on. That's what I'm saying.
Lovely.
That's what I'm saying. That king who killed her, by the way, he literally said, I'm going to end this on this and we can go to yours. He literally said, you could have had the honor of having me and my sister's child.
Right. I remember you mentioning that.
Moving on.
Let's move on.
Yeah. So if you can get past that, that's why I said I need another season because I need them both to just go. I need them to go. Next.
Okay. I actually have two. I thought I said I had one. I have two. I've been watching Dan to Dan. I'm going to be honest with you. The secondhand embarrassment of this show is real.
I don't like secondhand embarrassment.
So real. Well, here's the thing. This show is literally just basically giving you a visual representation of teenagers going through puberty, trying to figure out the world, feeling like an alien, and wanting so much to be an invisible ghost at times. And the whole focus is on aliens and ghosts and these two kids' obsession. Come to find out the girl is a psychic who is interested in aliens but sees ghosts, and the boy is possessed by a ghost but is interested in aliens. Wait. Yes, no, maybe. Whatever. Look, basically, the opening is the most interesting part for me.
Basically, the things they're interested in is the opposite of what they can do.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. That's it. Exactly. And here's the thing. The opening is phenomenal. Probably one of the best openings just
of recent.
It is bombastic. And the guys who sang the opening thing are also the ones who did the opening thing for Mashal season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a banger at the beginning of 2024 and a banger at the end of 2024, and they just capped it beautifully.
That is a good song though, because that's the main one from it's just it's second season, but that's the main one that they style for it's the main one. Yes. So I can see it.
The art style for Dan to Dan's really nice. I've seen the manga art style. I know that some people were kind of having issues with the translation of the art style. I get it, but I like what they've done with it for the anime. I do. And I love what they did with the opening song. Like, it is so gorgeously stylized and it's so fun. And I want someone out there to choreograph to the entire song, please. I've seen choreographs to the 1 minute version. There's a full 3 minute version. I want to see a full 3 minute version choreographed, please. Thank you. Yes. Using the choreography that's already laced throughout the entire thing because it's got elements. All you need is just the full thing. I want to see the full thing, please. Thank you.
I'm sure somebody out there will do it.
But as far as the anime goes, like, it's not bad. I don't dislike it. I do like it. But I get so much secondhand embarrassment that it's really hard to watch because you feel so embarrassed for these two characters and their other friend that comes in later on towards the
end.
Towards the last 2 or 3 episodes. Like, we get another character introduced in that she's going to be regular. And then another one introduced in the last 2 or 3 episodes as well. So actually, I think she came in halfway through. And then another guy came in who may be an alien.
They haven't confirmed?
I haven't figured it out.
Oh. Okay.
I haven't figured it out. And there's already plans for season 2 this year. Like, not surprising at all. But it just... Let me put it this way. I will be looking more forward to whatever they do for the new opening for season 2 than I will the season itself, only because the secondhand embarrassment is something that I have a hard time with. But it is enjoyable. The art style is fun. I do love a fun, dynamic art style where they're not just going with the most bare bones basic thing. Mm-hmm. So it's really enjoyable to watch that. My other thing, because we're just going to jump straight to the next thing now, is Fairy Tail 100-Year Quest. And I have issues with it. It's frustrating me. It's over at this point for the season. It's already going to most definitely have a season 2 because it ended at like a halfway point.
Oh.
So it's a guarantee season 2, assuming that it's popular enough to warrant the season 2. But the thing of it is just that what they're doing, I'm 50-50 on, and I did a little short on this where basically I explained my biggest issue is finally, for the first time ever, these characters are being made out to be so much smarter. Like, they're actually thinking ahead. They're actually not just jumping in and doing things stupidly.
Weren't they like teenagers though?
Well, yeah. But by the end of the original series, like, they're at least advanced another 2-3 years at this point. So we get to a point to where they're most definitely at least in their 20s. Physically at this point. Okay. And so by 100 Years Quest, they're definitely in their 20s. Even if they don't really look it, they're definitely in their 20s. Like, we finally are getting to see here's some good things we are finally getting to see out of this. We're getting confirmation of Juvian Gray. It is literally, finally it's full.
She chased him forever.
And she wore him down and he's in. He's all in now. Finally. It is confirmed.
I mean, they started hinting at it because the last time I watched it, which was a long time ago, but I think she got hurt or something, and he like flipped his lid. So I mean, you kind of could start seeing that he was like starting to like her anyway. Mm-hmm.
It really started showing there at the very tail end part of the original series too. Like, he was finally warming up to her. They were living together for a short period of time during a time when the guild got disbanded for whatever reason, and it was inevitable. They were getting there. They got together. And it was confirmed that for the Edalus side, that Edalus side, those people never did have to deal with that getting trapped because that was post-Edalus. Okay. So we got to see in Edalus the confirmation of Lucy and Natsu and their child. The confirmation of Juvia and Gray and their child. Mm-hmm. We have full confirmation entirely of Gajiel and Levi in real world or in Earthland world. Mm-hmm. And they have a baby on the way. And we're getting confirmation for Juvia and Gray in Earthland. We're getting good things.
What happened to Urza?
Urza and Jalal are confirmed.
Okay.
They got confirmed in this series.
Whole big old just like heart-wrenching it's
been officially full on confirmed. They still are sheepish about it between the two of them, but it's full confirmed.
Well, they both are strong, so.
Oh, they are full in love with each other, and they have finally confirmed we're going to go for this. We're going to just let it be.
Instead of teeter-tottering around each other like they did the whole time.
Yes. Okay. So we're getting nice. We're getting good positive things. we're getting wonderful positive things. So what frustrates me is just that the issue being that when these characters act smart, you miss action. Like there was an opportunity because of one of the dragon's lackeys, because they're on a 100-year quest to kill 5 dragons. I didn't mention that. They're on a 100-year quest to kill 5 dragons. One of the dragon's lackeys can transform anybody into a yokai.
Okay.
And she transformed all but 1 or 2 characters into a yokai. I think she transformed all the girls into yokai. And then threw the 2 guys down into a dungeon to have to fight them because they were kind of mind possessed, whatever. Well, they actually used their brains a little bit. They tricked Wendy into using her enchantment dispelling magic to fix her own enchantment. And then she turned around and used that on Urza.
Okay.
So they managed to completely avoid an unnecessary battle. Wonderful, brilliant, fantastic. They used their brains. They also missed out on an opportunity to have a fight with Urza.
That's what you're mad at?
Yes!
I thought it was like something like, oh gosh, that I wanted to.
You didn't watch the short at all, did you? Listen.
That's what you're mad at. They should have
Listen.
You would have creamed them.
Urza and Natsu have never had a full battle between each other in the entire series. Still.
Okay, that's what I said. Okay.
You can understand my frustration now.
Okay.
They had the start of a battle way at the early point in the series that got stopped by some sort of council thing.
Always. Their fights always get stopped.
Yes. So we've never seen a full battle between those two. At least, full-fledged battle.
Okay.
I mean, yes, there have been those occasional scuffles here and there that are played for comedy.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the down and dirty battles.
Yes. We've never seen that. So, hip hip hooray. They were being smart, thank God. Problem being,
you missed out on a fight.
You missed out on a fight you've been itching to see. And because we've only had 25 episodes, but there's been quite a bit going on in these 25 episodes, it feels like they're rushing to the end. It doesn't feel like it's getting paced very well, even though it's paced fine. It's paced fine.
You still feel like that anticipation is like you're like
anxiety. It feels like they're skipping over elements and they're intentionally jumping through to the next part because they just want to get this over and done with. And it's just like, why? Because you gave so much time to have beautiful pacing in the original series. So why are you choosing now with this series?
Are they running out of funds?
I'm beginning to wonder. I feel like the pacing is not right. Like, we've gotten through the water dragon, and that went smoothly. It went very nicely. It felt like it had good pacing going for it, so it didn't feel rushed. But then we had an introduction of the fire dragon, who is causing some kind of a problem. We're currently on the moon dragon right now. We just got done with the wood dragon, and that was a problem in its own right. Like, it was, honestly, I would not say that it was one of the stronger elements, but maybe I'm crazy. I didn't think it was all that strong. And to me, it felt like it maybe could have used an episode or 2 more, because it felt like it got kind of rushed just a little bit so that we could get to this.
The last one?
Well, no, there's 5 in total. We're not there yet.
We're at 4.
Well, remember, the fire dragon only got introduced. He hasn't been fought yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're technically only on the 3rd dragon, but there was also interference from the white mage, who was absorbing and erasing everyone's power so she could turn around and use it to turn around and fight the moon dragon. So it was lead up to get to there. So we went with water dragon to wood dragon to white mage to moon dragon, with fire dragon popping in just for a brief moment to be like, hey, I'm going to be a problem.
Just so you know, when you get to me, it's going to be on site.
Yeah. And then I know for a fact there is just no way that it's not going to be, and I will be shocked if it will be, because I haven't watched or I haven't read the manga, that the one who commissioned the quest, which was a dragon, is going to wind up being the 5th dragon they have to fight, and somehow he's going to be the hardest one.
But why did he commission him to fight them?
Because all of these dragons were causing some kind of a problem in a way. Like, they're dragon gods is what they are. They're all dragon gods. They're over 400 years old. They were.
So he's just ready to go?
I think so.
So he's like,
but he's like, I'm not going down without a fight, and I'm going to commission the greatest fighters
basically
who have taken down many a dragon.
Basically die with honor.
Yes.
Instead of just withering away,
yes.
Let's go out with honor.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and at the same time, let's also get rid of all of my problem brethren.
No. Let's get rid of everything. Like I'm saying, like we're all gonna go out with a bang.
Yes.
But y'all don't know that I'm telling you.
Yes.
This is how we going.
So that's where I think things are going to go. I fully expect that's how things are going to go, and I will be shocked if there's. He might be a 6th dragon for all we know.
Wasn't Natsu, or he's just trying to get rid of his competition. But, okay.
Yeah, it's flowing fine, but it feels like elements have been sped up too far fast, where they could have had maybe one more episode in between just to extend things out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not horribly paced. It's not. But
it could be better.
It could be better.
Yeah.
This, on the other hand, it just feels like it needs more than what it's been getting. So I'm mildly frustrated. End of story.
So mildly frustration leading to one, because I feel like it's being rushed. I don't like animes that feel like it's rushing the ending. And you didn't get that fight with Urza.
Yeah.
That's his main 2 complaints.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, if you've watched it, because I have not, because I stopped watching Fairy Tail a long time ago, but I still remember some of the characters. That's why I knew who couples was going with who. So basically, how it goes is you feel like the ending was rushed, and you didn't get your fight that you wanted.
Yeah.
Honestly, that one can be disputed for me, but I get where you're going because sometimes you really want a good fight. And so, if that
fight that we have yet to see.
So if you're not upset with possibly it being rushed, I don't like rushed animes, but if you're not upset with it possibly being rushed, or the fact that Natsu and Urza have not had their showdown for showdowns of the century, I think you might enjoy the show. So, like I said, all the ones that we've named so far: Do-Over Damsel, Woodpecker, Forbidden Deduction, Notorious Talker, and Fairy Tail. If these are ones that you haven't watched, or the ones that you are watching, by all means, check them out and let us know what you think. Bye.
Bye.
Now back to what we were saying, though.